You know, Megan, one of the things I think people still think is that they have to have 20% to buy a house.
That's very true. People do think that.
And if you're looking in our area, so let's say you were looking at a house that's 250,000, you'd be thinking you had to have 50 grand.
Yes, and that's a little out of reach for a lot of people.
Well, yeah, that's a little out of reach for a lot of people. So kind of tell me some of the most common loans that we have in our area and how much down payment they cost.
Well, in our area, especially Bartow County and even Gordon County, which is one county up, we have a USDA program, which is a 0% down. The other most common one is FHA, which is 3.5%, which is a great option for people who are especially first-time home buyers or
So let's
buyers.
go back to that 250 at 3.5% down. How much would that be?
At 3.5% down, you're looking at roughly $9,000.
So that 3.5% loan, I mean, that makes it homeownership reasonable because if
Yes,
you
it
compare that to getting into a rental.
Yes, I mean, sometimes with rentals, I mean, you need a first month, last month, and a security deposit, which can be anywhere between $7,000 and $9,000 as well.
Yeah, so that 3.5% loan, FHA, really that is like one of the most common loans that we have right now. And because it's a federal backed mortgage, the interest rate is
better
than some of the other options out there. Now, tell me about the options, other options that we also have.
The other options we have, say if you're a veteran, we can do also zero down on that one because they have a great program for our veterans, a VA loan. And then the last option would be a conventional loan, but that does have the typically 5 to 20% range for your down payment.
Yeah, so although there are some conventionals that are 3%, and usually local banks will have those.
Right.
But that 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, like 50, whatever you want you can pay as much money down as you want.
Yes.
But I think people have grown up because used to we only had that 20% down loan.
Yes.
And now there's so many more options.
Yes.
Now, in addition to, so let's go back to those 100% loans because the 100% loans that we have here are USDA and VA loans.
Yes.
They can't really get in a house necessarily for zero.
No, ma'am.
But because that's no down payment. But you still have your closing costs.
And earnest money.
And earnest money.
And appraisal fee.
And appraisal fee.
And inspection.
And a home inspection. So you're still going to need some money to get in, but it becomes less than it would. So like with closing costs, how much is closing costs running?
They're averaging about $10,000.
Yeah, so about 10. That's a good baseline. So closing costs is the cost to get the mortgage, the closing attorney, your first year of homeowner's insurance, prepaid, all those kind of things. So there's a lot that is in that. But you got to have some closing costs. Can the seller pay their closing costs?
Absolutely. They can pay some of them, all of them. It's just whatever you can negotiate on the contract.
Yeah, while they can, that doesn't mean they will.
Yes.
That is the caveat there. Can they? Yes. Will they? Maybe. So you kind of want to look at it like, can we get them to pay half or some of it? So a lot of times, if you really need all your closing costs paid, you kind of might not be able to get the house the day it goes on the market.
Right.
But if it's been on the market a little bit of time, those sellers become more willing to negotiate.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you do have to look at that.
Yeah.
Kind of have a good agent that can help guide you on that direction.
Yeah, because, you can ask, but it doesn't mean that they'll say yes. So that's just some tips about different loan options out there. So talk to you soon.